Hello, guys and gals. This is Gus Kotaku here, coming to you with part 2 of my 50% build series. I have some good news. I actually did sell my old components, and I sold them for around the price, actually a little bit above what I was intending on getting it for them. I sold all my components and got it for $320, which helps me out because the build actually totally cost me, because I had to add a network card, about $635 after taxes. So really, I'm just like $5. I got a $5 buffer. Really, I was only spending about $620, but I'm just gonna go ahead and include that network card I had to add because the network port was bad. So we got $320. Here's the cash right here. That's what I got for my components. And this is going to be kind of a tutorial video on how you should price your old components. Obviously, you build your computer first before selling your old components. Don't do it the other way and be an idiot like these other people who sold a bunch of their 2080 Ti's when they first announced it, and then they didn't have a GPU to put in. That happens all the time because people don't think about that. Build your computer first, then sell your components. But anyway, here, let's load up eBay. We'll go ahead and load up eBay and then bring it up here and show you my methodology of how I actually determine the price of my stuff. I got around $310 is what I determined the least I could get from anywhere from $310 to $350 is about what I knew I could get for my components. So here we go. We're up here. eBay, let's go with the CPU at first. So we've got the 2700X. So the way you look at this, you actually go to show only, and then you go to sold items. This will show you all the recently sold items, and then you average those prices together to determine your price. So as you can see, like mine actually had the cooler with it and everything. So you got 16050. There's this one that has the motherboard, the cooler, and some other stuff with it. This one actually they added a cooler on for $8. On average, looking through all of these, we're looking at around $150 to $170. Mainly because if you include the cooler with it, it's whatever. Like this one actually sold for $170. It didn't even have a cooler with it. So you go through this. That one sold for $125 without the cooler. It just depends on whether you. So on average, we're looking at around $170 with the cooler. So we got $170, $180 around there for the CPU with the cooler is what we're seeing here. At the low end, 160. At the high end, 180. What we're seeing with the cooler. So let's just factor in that into our build. The next thing you got to look at is motherboard. Now, motherboard. Generally speaking, you're spending $100 on a used motherboard, it better be a kick-ass motherboard. Generally speaking, most motherboards are not that expensive, especially used, and they've been used before, so like you don't want to get something like that. So yeah, just looking at B450 boards in general. So let's look here, B450. You look at these are recently sold items. I think still. Let's take a look. Oh wait, no. Yep, there we go. Show only sold items. So we're looking at around 50, 60, 35 low, and these are the really super cheap motherboards. Generally, the one I had was around the $40 to $60 range. So let's just go ahead and factor that in. Let's go ahead and add that up in our calculator. So we're going to assume 170 for the 2700X with the ray cooler. Then we're going to assume, once we go from here, we're going to assume about $80. That's what we're seeing here, around $80 for a used motherboard. So for the CPU, cooler, and the motherboard, $250 is what I came up with on my price. That's my methodology of how I did that for just those components. Now, we've got two more parts to think about. We have our power supply and our case. Now, I can't really find that power supply. It was a general power 600 watt power supply. So this was a pre-built from Micro Center. So let's just look at prices there. And in that way, we can determine what we're looking at here. Now, let's see here. Micro Center now. And let's just look at computer parts. Computer parts, and then we're going to look at, there's power supplies on here. Power supplies. Okay. We know it's a 600 watt power supply, so go down here to the 600. And we know it was a non-modular, so that'll help out anything. So we look over here, let's look at non-modular power supply. So we got anywhere between thermal take and these really cheap, solid, I guarantee you that's not it. So 600 watt, we get a thermal take. Solid base, I would even trust that one. So we're looking around 70 bucks. 70 bucks for that power supply, brand new. Let's just go ahead and half what my thing is from there. So that's $35 right there. So going back to our calculator, we're looking at 250, right? So we're gonna add $35 onto that. There we go, we're at 285. So I got around 310, 320 when I first did this calculation. Next, the case. I know the case is a Lonley 205M, and I looked on eBay already. I couldn't find any for sale. So here we go again, $69.99. So let's half that again. So we're gonna add another $35 on there. So you can see I got 320. First time I did this, I got 310. I guess the prices were a little bit different at the time, but we got $320. And the money I got out of it, $320. So, you know, I got exactly what these parts are basically worth. Anyway, just doing this calculation right here. This is 320 bucks. We just did it right here. You saw everything I said. 250 for the motherboard, the CPU, the cooler. That's $350 right there that someone paid. And then I also sold the power supply, and I sold the case. And the good thing is, if you can get away with this, if you could sell it all in one go for $320, that's great. That's what I did. Now you can make a little bit more money sometimes by parting it out. What a lot of people don't realize that is they said, well, individual parts should be cheaper and stuff like that and all that crap, but you have to take it apart in order to sell it. So certain people who sell parts and they sell it as one go, they will sell it for cheaper as one piece because they're not having to put any labor in taking it apart to sell you individual parts. Now, it's not that difficult to take apart these things, but you could break stuff like that. Sometimes you want to leave it all in one component. That's sometimes easier. That was easier for me, but some people want to part it out. But there is labor involved with that, and some people will charge for their labor of taking that apart. So, in general, I just wanted to show you how that goes, how I price out parts, and how everything goes. Let's actually get on my face here again. There we go. So that's generally my methodology of how I priced parts. I'm hoping that could help y'all out to do your 50% build. And as I said before, I spent a total of $635 on this, and this is $320. I more than made up for that 50% margin. So I was able to significantly upgrade my streaming box PC for just 50% cost, which is amazing to me. This video is really directed towards the people who already have a GPU, who just want a little bit of an upgrade. Maybe they have a Micro Center, maybe they have a Best Buy, maybe they have a really good Newegg price, and they see some components that they want to buy to just mid upgrade their stuff because of these difficult times, and then you can get a significant. Because I guarantee you, the 10700 that I have in here is way better than the 2700X I had, especially for what I do for my VTubing stuff and other aspects. So it gave me a little bit more CPU power to use, and I actually got a good deal. Now, it is on you that you have to find good deals. Like, me getting all these components for $635 was lucky in some cases, because I honestly had about $50 or $60 more I should have been spending on this, but I was able to find some good deals and open box deals in order to get this. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope this gives you some knowledge on how to upgrade your stuff, and the 50% build was a success. And also to let you guys know, guys and girls know, build your computer first before selling your components. Now, obviously, find out what your components are worth and see if it's even worth upgrading. But don't just sell your computer parts out without having your computer built. People have made this mistake way too often, where they sell all their components, thinking that they're going to build another computer, and then they can't get it, or they run into some trouble or something like that. At least with building the stuff first, at least you still have the old stuff if something goes wrong. So you never want to sell anything until you verify that your new PC build is good. All right. So I hope that was informative for you guys. And as always, live good, duck. Be good, duck. See you later.